Hello and welcome. Today's Wednesday wellness workshop is all about self-sabotage. And that word, it's juicy, but it's also like kind of a word we don't want to admit exists in our life. And that's okay, but we're going to kind of do a deep dive into it today, and I'm really excited about it because actually this is, if I had to distill it down to one thing that I want to share with people, is how to stop self sabotage. It happens to everybody. We all do it from time to time or situation to situation. I'm going to show you how to identify your triggers and sort out your reactions and create some strategies. Are you with me? Let's get to it. So, before we really get started here, now you don't really have to take notes, but I probably have a few, me, little exercises that I ask you to either think about or brainstorm about. So you could get a piece of paper, you could get a cup of tea real quick, although I am going to get started here in just a second. I don't want you to miss out on anything, but if you just need to settle for a moment, and give yourself permission to just, focus and breathe and relax. Turn off your distractions. No one's going to need you for the next half an hour, I promise. And if you need more help about disconnecting from your phone, stay tuned because I will be doing a little workshop on that as well. So when you slow down, when you focus, when you're fully immersed in the present moment, then you can do things effectively and efficiently. And this gal here, I'm kind of afraid for everybody here. It's not gonna, the outcome of the day is not going to be pretty nor enjoyable or memorable. So just give yourself permission to slow down and take one thing at a time. And if you're putting some practices in place that keep you from self-sabotaging, you won't be so scrambly and reactive all the time. I promise. I promise. And I want you to stay with me because I really love to offer amazing content, and I want you to have my best thing that I've created. It's this foundation of wellness that's very simple yet very it goes deep for sure, and I love to offer it to my clients. I've been working with clients for the past 12 years in my professional practice, and it all boils down to a certain few things. So self-sabotage is kind of the first little baby step. And then we kind of talk about mindfulness. And then we work on your exercise and your diet. And then we talk about your productivity day to day and your life goals. And we talk about sleep and stress relief. And then we tie it all up with a little bow with gratitude practice and big picture thinking. It's awesome. And I take each of my clients through this process. And once you can adapt those kinds of the information that I share with you to those areas of your life, there's no stopping you. There's absolutely no stopping you. It's only going to accelerate and get better from there. But that's enough about that. Here I am. Hello. And yes, I am probably totally normal and also a little bit eccentric at the same time, but I'm just like you. My husband and I live in our home here for 13 years in Bozeman, and we love it, and we go skiing and hiking and rafting and things, and I love to spend time outdoors. I love animals. I love working with people one-on-one, especially women, and helping you all see that you have options, you have power, you have potential. It's so much of a privilege for me to be able to work with you in that way. And no, I'm not perfect about anything, and I wouldn't want to be. I knew that about myself a long ass time ago. And for some of you who are out there who really enjoy and excel at your perfectionism, that's great. But I like to get things to a certain level of satisfactory and then be like, okay, done. What's next? So we all have to, find our weaknesses and shore up our strengths. And that is exactly what I help my clients, my high performance coaching clients see in their day-to-day life is their patterns and their strengths and their gifts and their wounds, and it's awesome. So yeah, but I mean, mostly I just like to, you know, take it easy and not take anything too seriously and really help whoever needs what I have to offer in the best, most wholehearted way I can. So, sorry, got a little sappy there, but that, I mean, it's true. Okay, so quick question. What have you tried so far to improve your health and have more energy? Maybe you've tried, like a diet product or an energy product. Maybe you've tried to join a gym or attend some kind of exercise class or yoga class or something. Maybe you have decided that you are going to start training for a marathon or hired a professional coach of some kind. Maybe you decided to go to hypnosis therapy so that you wouldn't overeat anymore. I don't know. Like, what have you done? And think about it. Really think about all the time, all the energy that you have put into trying to get to some goal, whether it's a physical goal like weight or performance, or whether it's an emotional goal like I just want to feel peace, or whether it's like a spiritual goal and I really do feel connected and of service and that I'm in alignment with my values, blah 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 blah, right? I don't mean to put those things down there, an integral part of all of it, but most of us are just like concerned about like how we resist going to Starbucks every day, right? And if you have tried a bunch of things, like I've tried this diet, I've tried that, I've tried everything, let me ask you, are you happy with the results? Did you get from point A to point B and go, yes, I did it. I did it. That was awesome. I feel great. I got to where I wanted to be and it's perfect. I'm going to stay there. I hope that is what you experienced. But sometimes, in fact, a lot of times, we get close to that goal maybe, or we get halfway to that goal and something gets in the way. Now I have some of our favorite little snacky foods. I'm just obsessed with cheeseburgers, but food's everywhere, right? And this is only one thing that might get in the way, is maybe, it's a food thing that's going to derail us. But there are lots of other things that always seem to come up, always seem to get us, off track or doubting ourselves or, having to backtrack a little, whatever it is. It's not your fault and it is your fault. But either way, whatever the circumstances were, I am so glad you're here. Just the fact that you're tuning in today really is a huge signal for you, because I really know that, of course, you want to make some changes and you've been putting yourself off a little bit and you don't quite know how to put it all together and you're just like, I'm just getting through day to day. I totally get it. And really, that's where I really want to step up and help you in a very easy and productive, efficient kind of way to get healthier, be more energized. I want you to start enjoying your life more. Like, what if you had more time and energy to go to your kids', soccer games or other kind of, performances and not have to miss out because you're working too much or because you're so far behind? What if you had time for date night? What if you had your stuff so together that you could stroll into work and slay it? I really want that for you, and you should have it. You should definitely have it. So, before we get to the self-sabotage piece, I just want to help you out with a few things that are going to be in the way before you even get to see your self-sabotage. So I'm calling them insidious health and fitness mindset blocks because they're sneaky. They are sneaky and you don't even know that you're doing it. And it's hard to see it for yourself sometimes, but that's where it's great to have, somebody be objective and give you some feedback. So if you're denying that there's really a problem and just sort of ignoring the fact that the scale's creeping up or that you can't fit into your clothes, if you're believing that there is, if I can't get to a perfect body, then why bother? I mean, that is really dangerous thinking, if you ask me. And maybe you're even thinking something like, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to go big or I'm going to go home. I'm going to run a marathon. I'm going to swim the English Channel. And oops, I got off track day 3. And then you're going to put others' needs above your own and not really invest in yourself. And that is also, I mean, all of these are just fatal mistakes and they're not true. Yeah, maybe you're gaining a little weight and you have to admit that to yourself. Or maybe you're not as energized or in shape as you once were. Maybe you're kind of out of motivation and inspiration. Maybe you're believing that you have to really work it hard and it has to be a grueling process, and you see why, you're so successful with it, because who doesn't want to step out onto that journey? And if you're thinking, I have other people in my life that I have to take care of first. Once I get all of them happy, then I'll do something nice for myself. No, no, nope, nope, nope. So I want you to get this sort of progression in your mind. So your thoughts create your reality or results, and everything flows. Thoughts, they're just out there. They're just in your mind. They're just a dime a dozen. It's like sorting through, like a big discount bin. But there might be a gem in there. But there's a lot of lost ones too that don't really apply to you, that aren't totally true, that they're not really figured out. And we tend to glom onto all the wrong ones and put emotions onto them and say, no, these are mine. And what if, and if that happens, then what? And we attach all these little future kind of what ifs on them, which is sort of a good thing, because then it helps us to say, oh no, that might be dangerous. But actually, as modern humans, we are creating danger in our minds, anxiety or guilt or something like that. And it's our bodies are reacting to those thoughts as if they are real, like as if, that is a big as problem as you think it is. Your body's reacting as if it's a physical problem when you're just thinking what if, right? And if you have enough of those strong emotions where it's like, oh no, whoa, whoa, then you begin to develop a belief. Workouts need to be excruciating. And then the belief becomes an action. And if you're believing the wrong things, you're going to do the wrong actions. It's that simple. And if you're doing the right actions, you're going to get awesome results. And if you're doing the wrong actions, you're going to get not awesome results. Are you with me so far? We're going to come back to this and talk about it a little bit more. So stick with me. I just wanted to help you see that this is how things manifest. Every single thing that's ever been invented or thought of or done, it all goes like this. And if you can master these steps, I'm going to show you how, then you really will be in charge instead of having your mind, your monkey mind, run the show. And believe me, I have been there too. I've been a chubby kitty. I'm still a little bit of a chubby kitty, but not as much as before. And I can always, keep working on that. And that's great. So yeah, I've been very much overweight. I've been sleep deprived probably for decades and didn't even realize it. I have been carb addicted. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, definitely. And, for a long time, they told us that carbs are really great. And so getting off of that sugary carb addiction, because yes, sugar, alcohol, it's all kind of the carby things. And then, of course, the self-destructive or the self-sabotaging behaviors. I've been there. Everybody's been there. How could you know what not to do if you've always done the same thing or done the right thing? If you've never seen self-destruct or self-sabotage in action, like I definitely have orchestrated my fair share of that. So that's okay. But I've also lost 20 pounds and I'm feeling lighter and stronger and easier in my body than in a while. So that's amazing. And it sneaks up on you. Age sneaks up on you, and your body's always changing, right? And hopefully you're changing it to continue to be as great as it can be in any given moment. I've reset my body clock to wake up at 6 a.m. Actually, it's more like 4:50. And that's when my husband gets up and goes to work, and that's when I get up and go to work. I crush my fitness goals, regain my yoga body. It's easy to get a little bit off track or to focus on different exercises or things. Sometimes I'm focusing on dance, sometimes I'm focusing on skiing, sometimes it's hiking. So getting that yoga kind of foundation back again, folding that back in. I did it for a long time and then kind of took a little bit of a break, and now I'm folding it back in. It's so helpful for everything else that you do. And yes, it's amazing how you need all of those moves the older you get. And then also designed a healthy meal plan that I actually crave. Yes, once you can cut out some of that junk and really get yourself on a predictable kind of thing. It doesn't necessarily have to be clean eating. I don't like those terms, but a healthy meal plan. There's always room for a little something, but also I'm very aware of how much and in what combos I'm consuming other things to make sure I'm getting what I need. So, are we ready to talk about the self-sabotage? And you're probably thinking, oh, I don't do that. Well, let's see. Let's just keep an open mind and see if maybe some of this might be familiar. So we're going to talk about the how to solve the I'm not good at diets and exercise is hard conversation. I'm going to tell you exactly why those diet and exercise plans, whatever ones you've ever tried, they may be great. I mean, most of them do have some kind of effect when you do them. They're not always the right thing for you. But no matter what one you think might be really great, it can be better when you figure out the right approach. You can have way better results. So I'm going to show you my 3-step method. Just make everything easy and fun and get right down to what's holding you back so you can see it in action every day and start changing it. Are you with me? If you're not, if you're part of the resistance, which, if you're resisting against what's good for you, then, your ego and your fear is winning out. And that's okay. You may be thinking, I have tried everything and I just don't see how you're going to keep me from eating my mint chocolate chip ice cream at midnight. And it's like, well, maybe that's fine for you. But, there's always room to learn something or improve something. And the great thing is like the resistance that might be keeping you sort of like, oh, well, I don't know if that'll work for me, or that sounds too hard or whatever. What can my mindset do about, my body? Well, stick with me. It's fine. It's totally fine. And once you kind of open up to the possibility that you can actually change your current state of being, that resistance turns into transformation instantly. It just, all that energy just goes boom in the other direction, and you're no longer, holding yourself back so much. And I'm going to talk a lot more about that in a minute here. So stay with me. It's okay if you're skeptical. All right, first strategy, observe your habits. And we all think that we do, but I don't know if we're really honest about our health and fitness habits. Whenever I ask my high performance coaching clients, how are you doing on this? How are you doing on that? And I always chuckle at their answers because it's usually the same, if you believe me. I'll tell you in a moment. But, we kind of were taught to, just sort of make excuses for, when we get off track or deny it a little bit, or, not be consistent about tracking it, or not being honest really about what we're actually doing. It's very normal. It's very common, and it can be changed if you want to. If you're telling yourself that you do, quote, pretty good at staying healthy. How are you doing on drinking water? Oh, pretty good. Okay, well, specifically, how much water did you drink last week? I don't know. Or I drink a lot of water. Well, how much is a lot? Well, 3 cups. Well, how big is the cup? How often are you doing this? How many days in a row did you do that? Oh, I do pretty good. No, y'all don't know what you're doing, honestly. And that's okay. We're just, figuring out, where to begin here. So if you're not knowing how much water or soda or alcohol you actually drink, if you're thinking that you work out more than you actually do, if you're not counting treats and splurges in your calorie count, if you're denying that your poor choices really do make you feel awful, and if you think you have to be perfect to be healthy, I'm going to tell you right now, you are so wrong. All this stuff has been pushed on you, and it's, that you're just, trying to get through day to day, and that it's okay to cheat once in a while, and that, I need cheesy carbs in order to feel good. And, all these things, I could really challenge them on how, if you were actually just addressing these things right here, you could make some huge changes starting today for free. And let me tell you, everybody lies to themselves. For sure. It's the only way we can possibly deal with everything that we've got going on. We have to kind of be in some kind of hold it in simmer or denial mode just to get through all the activities and responsibilities that we're supposed to deal with every day. And almost no one is on track 100% of the time. That's just not life. Life is chaotic. Life throws you curveballs. You're not a machine. You're not a robot. So, yeah, but it's important to have a framework. And if you want to get healthier, it's not just going to happen overnight. You need to really get serious. And so I'm going to tell you exactly how to eliminate your health and fitness problem for good, and where you can always be working towards a greater sense of well-being. You might not always be, quote, perfectly healthy, but you can always be striving to feel better and do what's great for you. But you have to take charge of your problem. So I want you to write down all your daily health and fitness habits. I'm going to give you 30 seconds, and I want you to write it all down from the moment you wake up to the moment you go back to bed. What are all the things that you do that you count as taking care of my health, taking care of my fitness, or self-care? 1, 2, 3, go. No pressure, just write. Just write down everything. Shower, paint my nails. What do you do? Drink water, work out. Maybe there's some things you wish were on there or you thought were on there, but you haven't done them for a while. Maybe sleep is on there somewhere. That's a health habit. What do you do for relaxation? Just keep writing. I'll give you 10 more seconds. So you may want to revisit this question or this little homework assignment here and just write them all down. Write them all down. I'm going to give you some examples for you to continue to notice these things throughout the week. I want you to write down how much water, caffeine, and alcohol you drink. I want you to write down how many hours of sleep you get every night, how many minutes of exercise you get every day, or if you're counting steps or some kind of equivalent of measurement, a specific measurement, how many calories, grams of fiber, and protein you eat. Now, you don't have to be extremely specific. Most food apps get close, just in general. If you're eating out a lot, they've probably got them dialed in, but I don't eat out very much, so I'm just kind of generalizing the things that I make in my kitchen. So you can see what your ratio is and how well you're doing on giving yourself nutrients. I want you to take note of how much self-care you do for yourself. If that's meditating, or if that's going for a stroll, if that's taking yourself for a coffee break, if that's doing yoga or taking a bath, or whatever you count in as self-care outside of sleep, exercise, and feeding yourself, okay? And I also want you to note how you feel on physical, mental, and emotional levels. And it doesn't have to be a big deal. Just physically I feel tired, or I feel achy, or I feel sore, or I feel restless. Mental, I feel happy, sad, whatever, a mix of 25 things, whatever you're feeling, just write it down. And your emotional level, oh, sorry, mental, what you're thinking about, what you are planning, what you are struggling, concepts that you're struggling with mindset and that kind of thing. And then, of course, emotional, happy, sad, and all of that. Just a couple quick notes right before you go to bed. It takes like 10 minutes. If you just did that, step one, observe your habits. You would have so much power to change what's not working for you. Because you could go back and look and be like, oh, wow, every Friday I get crappy sleep, and then I feel tired, and then I'm cranky, and then I don't, and then. Wow. And you can start to see what your stats are. No judgment. Just get some data. It's power. It's knowledge. And once you start tracking and once you start looking at your stats, I promise you amazing things will happen. Strategy number 2 is you need to eliminate your triggers. And you're like, trigger? What's a trigger? I'm going to tell you. And then I'm going to tell you how to get rid of them. So when you start noticing that your motivation and willpower fail you, it's probably like later in the day, later in the week, when you have to confront something or deal with something or see someone. Think about it. And seriously, motivation and willpower, they're not things that are just independent and they either have them or you don't. You can influence your motivation and willpower significantly, especially if you remove your triggers. So let's talk about different types of triggers. So a trigger is something that makes you react emotionally, and it's usually a negative emotion. So something like a time of day, like 4 o'clock or the rush hour, certain places that might trigger you, like places you don't want to be or places that have bad memories or mojo, specific people that you've had a problem with before or people that you don't understand or get along with, whatever it is, or maybe it's what that person represents. Or maybe it's an uncomfortable situation, like you have to go to, a sad occasion or, have a difficult conversation with someone. Or maybe you're just, quote, moody. And actually your mood is very changeable and variable, and you have a lot of control over it. And most of us run around like our mood has control over us, which I challenge. So here are certain triggers. Now think about during your day, where are these things that pop up that make you just react in a strong way and usually tell yourself something negative or tell yourself that somebody is taking from you or making you do something you don't want or understand, and it's it's an infraction against you or something, the trigger where you're like, wow, oh, and or sad, or you doubt yourself, or whatever the trigger is that makes you react in a way that says either you're not good enough or that you have to make up for this negativity in some way. Is that clear? If it's not clear, send me a quick note and I'll help you to understand it better. Like, tell me how, if you're not understanding a trigger, I can help you find one in your life almost instantly. So now, when you're triggered, the trigger's not really the problem. That's an external kind of influence that makes you think or react in a certain way. So your reaction to the trigger that's about you, right? That's all on you. So maybe you react in certain ways, such as you crave things and you say, well, I'm going to have this to make up for that thing that happened before that I didn't like. Or maybe you blow off a workout and you make an excuse or say you're going to do it tomorrow because, you're pissed off now and not in the mood. Maybe you feel bad about yourself and maybe you eat to kind of punish yourself, or maybe you don't eat to try to punish yourself. Stuff like that, when you feel bad about yourself and then you kind of treat yourself badly. Maybe you just need an energy boost. Maybe you're really tired, and it's proven science that when you're tired, you tend to eat sugar, carbs, or alcohol more in more quantities, and it makes you even more tired and get less good sleep. So anyway, oops, I went too fast there. Let me go back one. Um, or maybe you're deceiving yourself about your habits where you say, oh, well, this is really, chocolate cake is good for me. Where we all kind of rationalize things sometimes. I need this because, right? These are only a few of the reactions and they're very general. You might have your own that's super specific. Maybe it's smoking. Maybe it's you pick a fight with a coworker. Maybe it's you want to run away. Like, I don't know what your reactions specifically are, but if you can identify your triggers and reactions, then you got something to work with. Then you have some power. So let me just give you a couple more examples. When you have to walk by the Cinnabon on your way to the accounting department, like if you're in a big, like, kind of, work environment and there's like some kind of fast food around the corner. Maybe it's late afternoon when you're exhausted and grumpy and you haven't been taking care of your needs, and then you get triggered easily, and then you go and do the reaction, like go to the Cinnabon or the Starbucks or whatever. It's tricky. You'll talk yourself right into it every time, I promise. Maybe it's something like you had a tense meeting with a non-friendly coworker, and then that causes you to want to just ditch work and go to happy hour or whatever your thing you do to make up for it. Maybe it's at night when you feel tired and lonely and you're up at night in the fridge eating chocolate cake, right? Maybe it's in a group event or a party. Maybe you're a little shy, or maybe you're trying to, too hard to refrain. And then once you get there, it's all hell breaks loose and you're like, give me that taco dip, which is fine. But, as long as we are aware of these things and in control of them rather than reacting in some way because we're, not taking good care of ourselves. So you have to look for situations where you feel physically, emotionally, mentally triggered. And then when you're triggered, what do you do next? What is the thing that gets you off track? A lot of you don't want to admit what it is. If you need some help figuring out what it is, absolutely reach out to me. I can show it to you in like probably 10 or 15 minutes. Like just a quick consult on the phone, and I would be like, okay, here's what you're doing and here's why and here's what to do about it. Like, it won't be easy to change, but I can tell you exactly what it is, like, so fast. And because I see all of this in my patterns that I look at with my high performance coaching clients, where we look at your beliefs and we look at your behaviors and we look at your reactions and we look at how you reinforce the negative spiral, and really, get deeper into that wound instead of learn about your gifts, I can help you out of that. And then you have to create your strategies. Strategy 3, create your strategies. So I want to know, how do you set yourself up for health and fitness on a daily basis? What's your plan every day? Do you know exactly what you need to do today in order to get to your goal, whether that's a 30-day goal or a 90-day goal? What is today? How are you getting it done today? Do you have that, is that part of your morning routine? Do you take a break at lunch and go work out? What is it? Because I tell you what, you can absolutely stimulate feel-good hormones in your brain and train yourself to like those healthy activities so that you actually just start doing them automatically and really don't want your day to go by without having them be part of it, I'm getting that feeling, right? So if you want to change a behavior, the when I, then I method is really easy, and it can really just help you guide yourself a little bit more gently but effectively into a better behavior. So When I insert the trigger, whatever your trigger is, whenever I have to, do something I don't like, then I will insert a strategy to keep yourself from doing the reaction, right? The negative behavior, the self-destructive behavior. Let me give you some examples. I want us to be able to replace the negative behaviors with positive strategies. It's that simple. But you kind of have to do a little thinking ahead and some homework and anticipate a little bit. But once you get this strategy down, it's pretty easy. So let's think about your situation. When I have to give a presentation, then I will do a breathing exercise or meditate 10 minutes before I walk in. When I have to walk by the Cinnabon, then I will drink 24 ounces of water or tea before I go. Probably need to run to the ladies' room after that too, but that's okay. It's good detoxing. When I am anxious about the future and feel restless and confused, then I will go for a 10-minute walk, whether that's around the building or around the block. When I can't think straight or am crabby and really need to be prepared and focused in a little while, then I'll take a power nap, 10 minutes. If you don't know how to do a power nap, reach out. I'll help you figure it out. I'm not much of a napper, but a power nap can really be amazing. It can work wonders. What's next? When I am worried about the future, then I will say a positive mantra to amp up my vibe. When I feel like quitting, then I will remind myself of my purpose or my goal. Yep. If you just did these things, you could really change some behaviors. One of my clients this week, she said that instead of having a glass of wine at night, she's having pomegranate juice instead. When I need to unwind for the night, then I will have a glass of pomegranate juice. I mean, you just have to, it's a Jedi mind trick. These aren't the droids you're looking for. I will say a positive mantra. Now, that doesn't mean that if you don't believe it, it's not going to really work for it. It does mean that it's not going to really work for you. You got to, kind of put your faith and power in that. Stick with me and I'll continue to, share with you how to do that. And the thing that every workout program, diet program, exercise program, trainer, whatever, most of them get wrong is that they want you to start with the actions. Let me see if I can find that slide really quick of, here we go. I want us to go back to this slide. Most diet exercise plans or whatever, they want you to jump in and do the action. And the action, while they might be telling you amazing things, they're skipping out on the beliefs, emotions, and thoughts. You got to change those thoughts. You've got to attach positive emotions. You've got to create the right beliefs, and then the right actions will be effortless and the results will be amazing. But if you're jumping in on actions and you have negative thoughts, like exercise is hard, or I can't do this, or I have to be perfect, you're never really going to perform those actions in a way that'll get you some tangible long-term results. And that's what I want for you. I don't want you to, I keep clicking the wrong thing here. I don't want you to, just half-ass stuff or waste a bunch of money on things that aren't going to work because you're not in the right frame of mind. And I know that you are, sick of just feeling like you aren't getting things right and that you can't improve yourself, because I know that you can. And I know that if you don't do it now, when are you going to do it? How far is it going to go into you feeling bad about yourself or under energized or like you're not living up to your potential? Like you're not really living your life. How much time do you want to waste doing that? Because you really don't have as much time as you think, and you deserve to be the best version of yourself so far. Every day, you deserve that. So really you have two options. You can do it the hard way, where you do like 10 years of research and do like 100 trainings and come up with your own, case studies that you've done with thousands of women, and then distill it all down into what I have to share with you, which would be maybe the easy way. If you just be like, hey, she's already done all that stuff. Maybe I could just let her hold my hand through all of this and I could get healthier and happier. I would love that for you. And I actually have, through my work with my high performance coaching clients over the years, have really distilled down. I saw myself telling the same advice over and over. I'm like, I wish everybody could just get to a point where we could really make some transformation instead of going over all this basic stuff that, you should kind of be doing anyway, but you can't quite put together. And I want to fast track you into some real transformation and manifestation instead of always working on the basics like breathing exercises. And what I have come up with, they've worked for me, they've worked with tons of my clients, and I can't wait to share it with you. I really want you to just sort of feel like you've got your daily needs taken care of and that you're able to go out there and be effective and be amazing and really love and enjoy your life. Fast, easy, like I said, let's fast track this. I have created something that makes it feel like you're just reading a blueprint for your body, mind, and spirit. I touch on all of the things that you need to distill down into daily routines, habits, mindset, and all of that great advice. It's called the Mind Body Blueprint online course, and it is exclusively, written for women. And everything in here is simple, safe, and effective. No weirdo woo-woo stuff. Maybe just a little, but not this. This is solid practical advice. So 6 different modules, and each one of them addresses 6 different areas of your life. And I give you different tools and techniques through video modules and homework exercises, bonus tips, and weekly live webinars. I basically take your hand and walk you all through the major core concepts you need to improve your lifestyle and really squeeze the most juice that you can out of the life that you lead. You don't need to make drastic changes to your entire life. You just need to make a few small tweaks. So everything is, super easy. It's all there for you online, and I hold your hand right through. The homework and the Q&A is super easy. I really encourage you to do your homework a couple of times so that I can give you lots of feedback. It's private and it's lifetime access. So in module 1, we talk about mindset, and that is the hugest first piece, like I already kind of outlined to you, that you need to get before you can dive in and change other aspects of your lifestyle. Now, all of these modules kind of build on each other, and you're going to, go through each of them one at a time, but you're also going to continue to incorporate things over time that pull it all together, because it's hard to just do it like first day and be like, okay, I'm going to do all the things. Module 2, we're going to take that mindset and apply it to your body, your exercise. Figure out your body type. What kinds of exercises are great for your body type? How do I prioritize movement throughout my day? It's wonderful, and I really do want you to love your body, not punish it. Module 3, it's all about nutrition. How do we keep nutrition at our fingertips? How do we streamline the shopping and meal prep process? How do we make sure that we are getting the right nutrients for our body type? All of that is in there, and I tell you what, this is my favorite one. Like, I love this, and if you saw my fridge, you'd be like, But where's the junk food? Well, there is a cheesecake in my oven right now, but it's only because it's my brother's birthday tomorrow. So the treats are decadent and homemade and few and far between. I tell you what. Module 4, effortless motivation. I want you to breeze through your day as if it were all just laid out for you like a princess. And I want you to be effective during your day. And I want you to manifest the things that you want in your life. And I want you to know what you're working towards. I want you to know how to set up your day to be the most productive and give the best of yourself. It's really super easy, and I'll show you how to do that. And then in module 5, I want you to be able to feel like you can just spring out of bed at 4:50 a.m. and I'm up doing dishes and making breakfast and planning out my day and doing exercises and taking care of the house all before like 7 a.m. And it's magnificent. And it doesn't take a whole lot. It took me a little time to get over my sleep deprivation, but I'm going to help you with that. And then also stress relief practices and how to really, make your routines, your daily routines reflect, nourishing yourself, taking care of yourself. It's super easy. I hold your hand right through everything and give you really good tips along the way. And we talk about the body clock and why it's important to map out different activities according to your body clock. All right. Then in module 6, we do the Think Big Success System. That's where we take law of attraction and goal setting and amp it up to the major leagues for sure. We're going to set some big goals and then we're going to chunk them down and figure out how to actually, take the tools that we've learned in the last few modules and apply them so that we can be a boss in the bedroom, in the boardroom, in the kitchen, in the playground, like everywhere. It's fantastic. And a gratitude practice and a little bit more support, it will absolutely set you free. If you just get these basics down, you almost don't need anything else. You've got enough to continue to tweak your lifestyle and keep your health and wellness always improving throughout the rest of your life, for sure. I also give you some bonuses so that you can, everything you do in the course, I give you a little few extra tips and I help you walk through so that you're not forgetting to do your homework. It's amazing. And above all, I make things easy. I make things fun. Like I said, I'm not extreme. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in judging you or shaming you for anything. It's where you are is where you are. And you don't have to get to any sort of goal other than your own. And it doesn't have to be, a size 2 or whatever goal you're working on, whether it's weight or emotional stuff or whatever. It's all connected anyway, right? So I've offered my clients the basic membership for the Mind Body Blueprint. So this is just my online course. You get me talking about each module of the online course in a video lecture. And I give you all of those things that I talked about in the modules. Plus, you get to join my live Q&A webinars. And we also have a private Facebook group. I'm going to give you as much homework feedback as you can take. Seriously, I probably overwhelm my clients a little bit, but I want to give you more than you need to work with. I never know what info might be useful for you, so I give you a lot. I basically write articles for each one of you on what's going on with you at every step of the way. The Mind Body Blueprint private membership, this is where you take the online course and add 3 60-minute sessions with me over the phone, or if you're lucky enough to be in my area, I will absolutely set up an in-person appointment, and we talk about how you're going through the online course. Module 1 and 2, Module 3 and 4, and Module 5 and 6 in 3 separate appointments, and I will help you pinpoint where you're getting off track, what you're not seeing, how you're still self-sabotaging, and I'll give you my best tips to really put all of this together in a comprehensive way. It's so fun. It's amazing. And it's really, will take everything that you're doing totally to the next level, because you'll have someone to, motivate you and to hold you accountable. And I basically, in a more personal way, hold your hand and tell you what you need to be doing straight up. It's awesome. All right. So you're probably wondering, Yeah, but how much? Or what's the deal? Well, the total value, if you were going to do the Mind Body Blueprint online course and those 3 sessions, they would be $679, independently without any of my good deals. But I do like to give a good deal. And the best one I can come up with, I mean, this is just a screaming deal, $349 for the basic membership. So that's the online course, right? And you get the live weekly coaching, 3 payments of $116.33. Boom, boom, boom. And that's if you just, really want to have something help you to stay focused, help you to keep working at your goals, to kind of get your mind off the worries of the future and stuff, to feel like you really have, somewhere, that you're going, or some kind of help along the way. If you want even more help and you really want to fast track this and amp it up, get on the phone with me 3 times, 60 minutes each, and you'll get the online course again, but it's 3 monthly payments of $156.33. It's hardly even a difference. I mean, I'm seriously just like giving it away here. I want you to have this. I want you to grab this offer because I don't know when I'm going to do it again. I'm going to put a link at the bottom of this video, and you can go ahead and grab your offer. I'm going to hold this out here for just a little while, but I'm probably only going to allow for the private membership. I have room for like 5 new clients because I always put my current clients in priority, and I always want to make sure I have enough room on my schedule for them. But I do have room for about 5 more clients that I can start working with one-on-one. The basic membership, go for it. I'm going to give you this price probably for a while because there is no limit to it as to how many people can just be in my online course. Although once I start getting too much homework and I can't keep up with my high performance coaching, I will start limiting membership in that group, or moving y'all up. So I really want you to take full advantage of this. I love working with my clients. And I absolutely, if you, within 7 days, do the module 1 homework, send it in to me, and feel like it's not going to be something that you were expecting or is going to work for you, I'll absolutely give you a refund within 7 days. If after 7 days you're like, this isn't working for me, I'm going to try to help you in any way that I can to make sure that you're in there and doing it. So if you're ready to work on it, I'm ready to work with you. I won't let you, fall. I don't put up with a whole lot of BS, and I have lots of clients who want to be in a spot with me, and I want you to have that spot. If you're ready for transformation, if you're ready to really just stop all the BS that's in your life and get focused and get healthy, let's do this together. I absolutely, want you to find the results that you so deserve. You so deserve, and that are just out of, they're just right there for you. If you just grabbed them. So look for that link at the bottom of the webinar, and I will see you next week where I'm going to share 3 secrets to help you reach your 90-day goals. Don't miss it. And until next Wellness Wednesday, be well. Thanks for joining me.